Sixers fans. Look, before doing anything, I want you to watch this full video. I don't want you to jump down my throat saying this is a bad take. Before you listen to me, before you hear me out, let's talk about that. I think the time to pull the trigger of the Ben Simmons deal is right now. It's right now. Let's talk about it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the family. I'm only 100 away from 1,000. This is doable by the end of the year. Let's get me done. I know that doesn't make sense, but you know what? Go subscribe. I want to start off by saying I am very aware that my take for a long time now has been December is going to be the time we pull the trigger on the Ben Simmons deal, because when December rolls around, it's all the guys who signed this past offseason can finally be traded, can finally be moved. That opens up a lot of trade opportunities for the Sixers and Ben Simmons and just the entire situation in general. I know that. And now this video is November 29th on a Monday, and technically it's November, but the time is coming, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how much longer Ben Simmons will be here, and knowing that he'll probably be here for like another 3 years. But if you really kind of just look at it right now, the first thing I want to look at is the Portland Trail Blazers. The Trailblazers are obviously the team that we want to make a move with more than anybody else. And what's best and the most interesting thing about it is the Blazers are 10-10. The Blazers suck. Defensively, again, they're awful. And believe it or not, their whole let's go get Chauncey Billups and change the entire franchise around didn't work. Obviously, a coaching change is not going to just completely change your team up the way that they were expecting it to. I don't know this whole Damian Lillard thing. He has a couple of years left on his deal. You know, it's different than the Bradley Beal situation, but Lillard has shown this ridiculous amount of faith to this organization that's drafted him. And my thing is, how much longer is that faith going to be alive? I mean, he came out this offseason and was like, dude, we need to do something. And they didn't listen to him. They didn't cater to him. They didn't do what their superstar player wanted them to do. Larry Nance and Chauncey Billups happened to not be enough. No shit. Anybody could have told you that. And the way that Tyrese Maxey has played this last month, month and a half, arguably the whole season, there's something that can be made here, guys. And I'm not going to sit here and say, let's trade Tyrese Maxey, because personally, I would love to hold on to Tyrese Maxey. I think Tyrese Maxey is going to be an all-star in his career. I think Maxey is going to be a great player. I think he already is a great player. He is the bright spot to the Sixers team. He's one of my favorite players on the team. I was a huge supporter of him in Kentucky the moment we drafted him. I thought it was a steal. So don't even come down my throat saying that I don't want Maxey on this team. But what I am saying right now is that Tyrese Maxey will never be as good as Damian Lillard is right now. It's just the way of the land. That's just fact. That's objectively a truth statement. What I'm saying is that we could sell high on Tyrese Maxey, and Tyrese Maxey could even headline his own deal. And I'm only saying that, I'm only bringing up this whatever you want to call it, this situation, this scenario, because the Tyrese Maxey Embiid window is awkward. I don't think it just fits very well. And we need to win right now. It's just the way of Embiid. We need to win ASAP Rocky, because Embiid, who knows how much longer he's going to be a dominant force in the NBA. You guys know his injury status. You guys know that. And I think the Sixers would seriously be the best team in the Eastern Conference if we could go out and trade for Damian Lillard. I think there are some depth problems here in Philadelphia still, but I think a trade centered around Ben Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, a first-round pick, and maybe another player as a filler would get the job done for Damian Lillard. That's only if Damian comes out and is like, like, move me, this, that. There's an even bigger losing streak in Portland. I mean, right now as we speak, Portland's never going to trade the guy unless they're forced to. And I think if they're forced to, Philadelphia has been waiting for a long time. And I think Lillard is the perfect fit in Philadelphia. And I'm not saying I wouldn't trade Tyrese, because I love Tyrese. But if Dame wants out, you have to go out and do that. You have to, because Lillard will always be the better player out of the three of them. And Portland receiving Tyrese Maxey and Ben Simmons, dude, that makes them a good team. I don't think it makes them better, obviously, because they're losing Dame, but it puts them on track for a pretty decent rebuild and a quicker rebuild than, other teams are going through and enduring right now. And I think as a Portland, in the Portland perspective, where you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere in the Western Conference, who is still, it's weaker than the East this year, and yet they're 10-10. They're on a losing streak right now, and they just don't look good. Dame has to do everything, and a lot of you might be like, Damian Lillard isn't even having a good year. He's playing what we would play like if the refs, they're not making any calls for him anymore, and so he sucks. But I would love to bring up the past week and a half for Dame, because he's averaging 27 plus. He's been an absolute efficient scorer again. Damian Lillard's back, and my whole point of everything is, dude, it's only a matter of time until Dame comes back, and he blew up against Philly the last time we played, and ever since then, Dame has been his consistently MVP talk self. And that alone is the reason why the Sixers have to go out and get him. I mean, they have to try everything they can to go out and get Damian Lillard. And I think that's always been on Morey's radar. It's always been Morey's number one option. It's always been what he has been trying and just scheming for. I just don't know if the way this team is, the Sixers, we are constructed to win a championship. And I don't just mean the way it is right now with Ben Simmons out. I mean, even if you go out and trade Ben Simmons for 3 role players, I don't know. Maybe, maybe, but there is it's not time to panic in Philadelphia, but at the same time, I think it's time to be self-aware. I don't think the Sixers team has it. I don't. And I've been saying that, we trade Ben Simmons for a couple really good players, and I think we'll have it. And I still kind of think that. I think if we can hold on to Maxey and trade Ben for just something very good, I think it's possible. I really do think it's possible. But the Sixers have some holes, and I think Tobias Harris, as much as I've loved him my whole life, even before he was in Philly, I think he's a problem. I just don't think he is as good as we need somebody making that kind of money is. And I don't think he's going to be that starting 4 on a championship team. I think he's a great third option. But right now with Maxey on the team, the way that Maxey kind of is forced to defer to him in crunch time, which is disgusting. And I think it's on Doc Rivers' fault more than anybody. It's not going to work in Philadelphia. Tobias Harris is just not going to be that fourth quarter guy that we need. And I think such a big problem in Philadelphia is Doc Rivers. It's the fact that he kind of makes Tyrese Maxey defer, or at least it seems. Tyrese excels when it's just him and just doing his thing on the half-court offense when he's not, the quickest dude in fast break situations. But the way that Doc kind of just wanted the ball to go into Tobias Harris late against that the Timberwolves game, I thought it was ugly. I thought it was a run stopper. I didn't love it. I just think that I love Maxey. I just think that this team, the way it's configured right now, I don't know if it's going to work. And it's not even a knock on Tyrese, because I think Tyrese has progressed more in a single season than Ben Simmons has in the last 5 years. I love Tyrese Maxey. I think he's the man, but at the same time, I think we would be beyond stupid to pass up on a Damian Lillard trade if it arises. I think we would be beyond stupid. I think that there are trades available that Maxey alone can create with Ben Simmons. I mean, if you really put Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey into a trade machine, I think that might be the best pairing duo that any team can offer anybody. And as long as that's the case, I don't think there is any superstar that wants out that Philadelphia can't get. And I know Lillard is older than him. I know Lillard is not going to get any better, but I think where Damian Lillard is at right now, Tyrese Maxey will never be that good. And that's not a knock, man. Damian Lillard is a top 75 player of all time. The NBA just came out with that, But Tyrese Maxey is an all-star. He's going to be a perennial all-star in his career, I think, if given a good opportunity. And I think if you look at Portland's side of it and they finally wake up one day and look in the mirror and are just finally, or they are honest with each other, I think starting a team with Tyrese, Maxey, CJ McCollum at the 2, a Covington, Ben Simmons 3-4, and then, Nurkic at the 5, or whoever the hell they want to put out there. It's a decent rebuild. It's a good start of a rebuild. Then they could trade McCollum. They could build around Simmons and Maxey. And I think it's a really good package that Philadelphia can offer. And then if you look at Philadelphia's side, of course, we're going to still struggle to find that starting small forward. But I think you could put Matisse in the starting lineup then consistently. And I think you could have Lillard and Seth Curry and Matisse Thybulle and Tobias Harris and Embiid, which would be, I think, the best starting lineup in the Eastern Conference, maybe. It would be a top 3 offense in the NBA, I believe. We would have the best point guard center pairing in the entire league, and probably in a long time, I think. And I just think Philadelphia would be better off when it comes to playoff time, because you guys know Dame time. I mean, Dame is the guy that the Sixers have been longing for my whole life. And I don't think we can be scared to move Tyrese Maxey if that is the final piece to go out and get Damian Lillard. That's my thesis statement. And I know you guys are not going to be happy about it. Some of you are not going to be happy about it. Some of you are going to be like, obviously we'd go get Damian Lillard. I know this is not going to be a loved video. I would love to hear what you guys say in the comment section. Let's argue, It's all love at the end of the day. We're all trying to want the best for our team and our players. I love Tyrese Maxey. If it was up to me, I would love to see Tyrese play the rest of his days in Philadelphia. Of course. I think he is a steal. He's one of the best draft picks the Sixers have had in a long time, given where we got him and the value that we got for him. Of course. But I think it is such a testament to how good he is, Tyrese Maxey, that we can be talking about a Damian Lillard trade centered around Tyrese Maxey and Ben Simmons. I think that shows you so much of the improvement on Tyrese Maxey. And if you're still here watching this video, I would like to say one of the biggest, most underrated reasons as to why Tyrese Maxey is so good right now and why he's improved so much is Sam Cassell, the guard coach, the assistant coach for the Sixers right now. I might make a video on it. I am going to sit here and say right now, as we are speaking, that Sam Cassell, November 29th, 2021, Sam Cassell will receive a head coaching job next year, and on a team that doesn't have a head coach in the offseason. So maybe the Kings too. We'll see. Sam Cassell has been a huge, huge reason as to why Maxey has been so good this year. Peace out, guys. Go Sixers.